Hi everyone, and welcome to our second Law School and Young Lawyer Success Secrets workshop. The last one we did was really special, and I got such positive feedback that we're going to keep these as a monthly recurrence. So I am running a couple minutes late. I will give people a second to hop up here. Hey guys, good to see you. Last week, or the last time I did this, it was really a high level, the 3 secrets to law school success. This is something that I highlight in my law school mastermind program. There's really these 3 secrets that a lot of law students learn eventually and learn the hard way. So I will recap that very quickly, and also I want to open this up to any questions that anyone has related to law or law school, or if you're a young professional, and then we can gear the conversation to that. And if not, what I would like to do is talk about networking in our virtual world. So high level, what we talked about last time is the 3 success secrets. So number 1 is you don't have to be the smartest person to get the A, okay? And maybe you are, but this is not about who's the smartest, has the highest IQ. Acing law school is really about how resourceful you are and how willing you are to put in the work to learn how to take a law school exam. So I suggest that you learn early, and if it still hasn't clicked yet, there are definitely tutors and programs and courses like Law School Mastermind, and that's free if you go to my Law School Mastermind account, that you can take to learn it. But just saying I'm a bad law school test taker is not enough. You really have to learn how to take exams. It's a different way to think, unlike anything that's been taught to you in college or any sort of school up to law school. The second is that to get your dream internships and jobs, it's going to take building a network. It doesn't have to be that you leverage the best grades to get those internships. You need to network. You have to really build authentic relationships with people to build your network, which is what I call an opportunity funnel. You know, having just going to networking events or networking with people for the sake of something. So for the sake of getting a job or getting an internship, you really need to think broader term, because a lot of your internships and your jobs, they may not pan out immediately. It could be a relationship that you build, and then 3 years later, it turns into a job opportunity. So just really play the long game and build authentic relationships to network to get those jobs and internships. And I think the third is you don't have to really be the quote unquote smartest person to ace your internships and your jobs. So this really relates to how to be the best associate or the best employee. And when for that last secret, I always say that you have to make yourself indispensable. Go in early, stay late, do what you need to do to go above and beyond. There are majority of your peers who you are interning with. It's not a competition. You're truly competing against yourself. But if you show up and you do the work, but you go above and beyond to become indispensable for the attorney, you're gonna be the all-star. So, okay, that was a quick recap. I would love to know if you guys have questions. I know there's a bunch of people in here, and even if you don't have questions or if you're shy, just take a minute to comment and let us know where you're studying and what year you are. And if you have a question, please feel free to drop it. This is that special time, and I know a lot of the law schools shared this. So if you're a law student watching or a junior attorney, let me know. All right, so I'm still taking questions. In the meantime, I want to talk about networking. And like I I think the word networking needs a refresh, needs a rebrand. I don't know what the word is, but don't think of networking in the sense where it's out to get something. Okay, if this is not transactional, the purpose of networking is to build authentic relationships. Okay, BAR. You are meeting people to build a relationship that is real, that is authentic. That doesn't mean that they need to go out and be your bestie, or it doesn't mean you need to go out shopping or drinking. What it does mean is that you have a relationship, an authentic one. So whether you're a lawyer or not a professional or an employee, when you are networking with people, you don't want to just be a robot. You truly want to, oh, I see Grace on here. Hi, Grace. Grace, let us know where you are. We talked the other day. I'm really glad to see you here. Let us know where you go to school in your year. And I'll finish my thought about not being a robot and networking and truly just being interested. I think being interested is better than being interesting. A lot of law students, and I mean, we think that we have to impress immediately, but the reality is I think the best people who network, the best networkers, are those that really listen and are genuinely curious about the other person. So I'm going to take a minute to read you guys some of the participants. Scarlett is at St. Thomas University in Miami. Alana is a 2L at Regent Law. Scarlett is at St. Thomas. Scarlett's a 3L. And Grace is a 3L. So, or she's a 2L, Grace. So, okay, networking. Real authentic relationships, guys, write that down. BAR. I want you to think BAR. So when you're in the room, you're talking with people, you're sending a message, authentic relationships. How do you connect with people? Grace is at Brooklyn. So yes, and she's a 3L. I was right. It's been a long week. So when you are at events, I want you to think, ask the person, like, what are you interested in about? What are you interested in about in their career? Ask them what kind of cases they've worked on. What's their day-to-day like? If you're taking notes right now, like, write some of this stuff down because it truly is important. But I would say the questions to ask is just about them, about their jobs, about their lifestyle. Just be genuinely curious, as if you were to have a conversation with a new friend or someone you haven't seen in a while. Just genuinely be interested in them and their career. And the funny thing about, and the good thing about it is that lawyers talk a lot. So you can just, don't be concerned if the person's talking a lot. You know, maybe you can direct the conversation a little bit, but generally if you get someone to talk and who's enthused, that's great. And when you can get a word in, I would definitely, comment and add value to that point. But just really, this is conversationalism. This isn't about showing off how much you know or why they should hire you. That will come down the road. When you have a formal interview. But truly, the number one most important thing is when you're networking, especially for the first time with people, learn about them, ask a lot of questions, show that you're interested in a good listener. I know my next live will be on tips for, I will talk about what I look for when I hire people. I think that's very important. So that's the purpose of networking, BAR. And I just want to see before I go on to the question, before we go on to the open it to questions that I have a couple here, I want to wrap up networking. So, how are you guys networking online, right? Like, this is a virtual world. A lot of you literally went to law school during the pandemic, and so everything was virtual. A lot of you only have a virtual experience, or it's a hybrid. So your concerns are that this isn't the normal world. I missed out. I hear a lot of that. I hear a lot of like negative perceptions on it. Well, everything was online, everything's virtual. I didn't get to network with my classmates. I didn't get to network with lawyers. I really missed out on that. But there is a huge silver lining, okay? So stop thinking that way. Get rid of that negative, that negativity and that negative perception. This has never been a better time for you to network. So now is the time where everyone is on their phones. We're on our phones right now. There's a bunch of people watching this live. There's a bunch of people that will watch the recording. We are connected. You can reach out to lawyers and get them, especially alumni or people who are in the field. You can reach them much more easily. They're more willing to have calls. They're more willing to be available because they're on their phones. So that is a huge, huge plus. People are more likely even to be on LinkedIn in the past 2 years. There's a sudden shift towards LinkedIn was this stuffy, boring place. Now people are really creating content that's engaging and showing a different side of lawyers, one that we've all kind of been waiting for. It's very fresh, it's very new, and as for a lot of young people, this is an amazing opportunity for you to connect. So I mean that two ways. I mean by posting content, posting organic content, sharing stories. Kimberly Faircloth does this very well. If you follow her, like check out some of her posts. She's a law student, and there's also a couple others that come to mind. I can give their names after, but you can even see what I do. Go to my profile and look at my recent posts, and they're tasteful, they're professional, but they're fun and they're authentic. They represent who I am. So you guys should do the same. You should post content, post things that are interesting to you, relevant in the law, things you're studying, things that you found interesting in school. And so then that's one, posting content. But the second is now DMs. You have to DM. If you want one job, it probably takes 100 contacts. So think for every 100 people that you reach out to, there's one job offer. This is a numbers game. Truly, this is a numbers game. If you reach out to enough people, you set up enough coffee calls, you go to enough in-person events, you're gonna get your job, the job that you want. So it's just a matter of being very intentional and not only messaging 3 people and saying, oh, they never messaged me back. Expect that majority don't message you back. It doesn't take all of them. It just takes a couple. And then it just takes one to offer you the job. So 100 people, definitely. And start building out that Excel spreadsheet. Keep an Excel spreadsheet of all the people that you start bringing into your network, bringing into your opportunity funnel. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions about networking. That's generally my takeaways is that now has never been a better time. Everyone's online, everyone's on their phones. They're much easier to access. Reach out to 100 plus people to get one job offer or one internship opportunity offer, and start posting content. Okay, let me go to questions. Aztec Rower says, how would you recommend one figures out their preferred area of practice? Okay. Intern. If you are law students, the key to getting a job is internships. You have to be interning. Every single internship that you have is just another opportunity for you to get a job. So you should be interning every single semester, every summer, as soon as you can. I know 1L is, interns don't really 1Ls don't really intern 1L year, but you should be interning in the summer. You should be having an internship in that fall for 2L, spring, 2L, summer. Really, that's how you're going to increase the chances of you getting a job. And so by interning, you're going to get to know what you like and what you don't like. That's truly, I would say, intern, you're going to figure out what you like, what you don't like, and then get a different experience, see what you like, what you don't like. Get a different experience, see what you like and you don't like, and then figure out which do you like. But also too, if you graduate, I would say, just be open-minded. But if you really, really, really want a job in a particular area, then strategize on how to get that. For IP, it's a little bit different. If you're interested in IP, like if, for example, in New York, fashion law, right? There actually are a lot of IP jobs that are related to fashion. So how do you get those jobs? They're there, but that's not just one where you're going to be blind applying. That's one where you have to know the players. You need to meet the people. It's a small network. I had lunch with the general counsel today of a big fashion company, and it was hilarious. Like, we're just catching up and we know all of the same people and we see all the same people. So it's a very, very small industry. That's when you're in those types of industries where you do need to have some sort of expertise or know the people, then that's where it's not just going to be a OCI or blind apply type thing. You need to actually get out there and message 100 people. Okay, so the girls alive, would you think it's a good move to graduate from law school and get a job as a legal assistant in any area of law, even though it's not the one you wanted to be in when you were in law school? Okay, I think there was a typo. Would you think I'm going to read it again. Would you think it's a good move to graduate from law school and just get a job as a legal assistant in any area of law, even though it's not the one that you wanted to be in when you were in law school? Okay, well, why are we getting legal assistant jobs? Why aren't we getting lawyer jobs? Because you don't need to be a lawyer to get a legal assistant job. So let's shift that perspective and let's get lawyer jobs. You can get a lawyer job. I don't care if it's hard. You'll get one. Just, mentally get rid of that limit and go shoot for lawyer jobs. Then I would say if you really, really can't get something in the area you wanted to practice in, then you could consider doing a different area, but you definitely want to do you want a legal role, like an actual attorney role, and do that. But I would really just try to get jobs in the area that you want to practice. But that may mean taking a pay cut or doing internships or working for a lower salary. So it's something that you have to be a little bit creative on. But it depends on the area of the law too. Okay, guys, any other questions? Just looking. Okay. I don't think there are any. I think I just went through them all. We talked about the 3 secrets to law school success, which I was in my last video. We talked about networking secrets and why that's important. And I just answered a bunch of questions. For next week, I'm going to talk about interviewing and what I look for. But we actually have some more questions, and then we'll wrap up. 3L here, seeing bar results come out causes a lot of anxiety. Can you explain what the days of the bar are like? Oh, yeah. It's just one of those things that you go through and you do it, right? It's like parenting or having kids or applying to college if you don't have kids. It's stressful and there's a lot of anxiety-inducing things that are related to it, but I think that just finish the year strong. You said you're 3L, focus on your grades, finish strong, sign up for a great bar. Sign up for Barbary if you can. If you really can't sign up for Barbary, if money is an issue, email them. They have scholarships. Apparently they give everyone something. Barbary is the best. Most people who have passed, this is totally informal, but I hear of people who haven't passed, and the first thing I ask is what course did you take? And it's always, a lot of them, it's not Barbary. So I think Barbary has, that's a reason why it's number 1, and they spoon feed you. They inundate you to make you feel like you didn't study enough, but you really did. So I would definitely take Barbary and just study as much as you can and take the bar. That's really it. You kind of have to tune out a lot of the noise. Okay, so Scarlett said, I feel like I keep putting in the box of patent law because I'm eligible to sit for the patent bar. That being said, I'm not sure I want to practice that type of law. Would it be wise for me? I think you 100% need to intern somewhere to see what it's like being a patent lawyer. That's a no-brainer. If you are interested in it, you need to do something. like, so whether you're a law student, intern, or if you can, if you're at a firm and you can like talk to a patent lawyer, or even do that, you should definitely reach out to a couple different patent attorneys, and see what their, how they like their jobs. Grace says, how do you maintain a relationship with someone after you've already spoken to them and introduced yourself? Okay, I love this. So in Law School Mastermind, I kind of like show you the progression. So if it's a cold email, like I say cold, but you have to always warm it up. So if it's totally random, you never met them before, it's a first time meeting, it's cold, you have to find a way to warm it. So which means, do you have any interests? Do you have any hobbies? Or do you have any cases or specific type of practice law that you have in common? So trying to find that common ground, it's great to do online. Look at their LinkedIn, look at their social media if they have it up. Google them, see what comes up, and see if you have any sort of overlap, whether they went to your school or they're in your area. It's just find that basic touch point. If you really can't find anything, you obviously are interested in them for their legal work. So look at their bios, and you could say, wow, like this article that you wrote was really interesting. Or I found this interesting about your article. Or I found this interesting about the case that you litigated. Those kind of things. You always have to just like warm it up, have a touch point of something of interest or in common. And then you follow up. I typically will follow up I will follow up probably like every couple months just to check in. And, you don't want to just check in randomly. Give something of value if you're speaking at a program, or if you can have them come speak at your school. Give the lawyer value, and that's just a huge opportunity for you as law students. If you're head of a student group, or you have a role at school where you can bring lawyers in to come speak, that would be something that's a great follow-up. You don't want to just say, hey, following up, like give them of something of value. Or if there's an update to a conversation, like maybe you say, oh, I was told you I was interviewing for this in-house job, like great news, I got the job and I've been there for a month and I'm working on all this cool stuff. Would love to like pick your brain about some tips on what I could be doing. So, like, you definitely need to tie it back to something and give value. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming. These are fun. And it helps me give as much as I can and share this stuff, because, like, when Grace and I talked, that conversation's gone. And I'm able to give so much advice, and I keep repeating the same thing over and over again. It's why I created Law School Mastermind. It's why, if you go to my social media account, Law School Mastermind, you can watch all the videos on that. And it's also why I'm doing these lives once a month. And I'll just take one more. What's your opinion on IP LLMs after law school? Do you think they're worth it? If so, do you have any programs you recommend? Yeah, I do. Cardozo has an amazing LLM program. There's a lot of Cardozo LLMs. A lot of my friends have done Cardozo LLMs, and it's fantastic. If you feel like your school doesn't offer a strong IP program, and you really want to do IP, I think that's a great value add, is if you do a type of IP LLM. All right, guys, we're wrapping up. Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And if you are watching the recording and you have questions, I'm going to post this, and just comment, and we will answer your questions. And if you don't, I hope to see you back. We're going to do these once a month, every Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month at 7:30 Eastern Time. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Scarlett. Thanks, Grace, Jimmy, Brazen Lawyer, Ray, Alexis. There's so many of you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.